Have you ever wondered what nature study is, or thought, how am I supposed to go about that? What do I do? Do I just send my kids out in nature and hope for the best? Today, I have the answer for you. And it's not something I've created, but it is a resource that I have found, and it has helped me as a home educator along the way. Hello and welcome back to Wholehearted Homemaking. My name is Heather, and here I talk about all things homemaking, homeschool, and motherhood. I am mama to 7 children from 2 all the way up to 14, and we primarily use a Charlotte Mason style homeschool method. And a big part of Charlotte Mason method, if you're not aware, is nature study. And when I first started out, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was still reading her volumes and trying to figure out what nature study was supposed to look like. And then as I read her volumes, I still felt a little confused as to how to put it all together. And one day I stumbled upon Joy Cher's Nature Study Hacking, and it has changed how we do nature study. Now, I'm going to admit, my kids don't look like those Instagram, Pinterest-worthy nature journals. Neither does mine. But the point is, we are getting out there, attending to the nature and all that is around us and observing what we see. And it has changed, using this curriculum has changed how we approach our nature studies in a more methodical fashion. So that way we're not just heading outside and, what'd you see? Let me draw something down. Though there are still days like that. So I wanted to share with you about her nature study, and I share on the blog a little bit more about the pros and cons and ways we use it, but today I wanted to give you a quick walkthrough of them. Now, we have 4. I really think I have a 5th one somewhere hiding, but I cannot find it to save my life. So we have stars and skies, which we did most recently, trees, insects, and mammals. Now, I'm going to walk you through the mammals because this is probably the one we used most completely, because it has 30 lessons in each one of these guides, and frankly, I don't need to do all of them because we want to have time for our own studies as well. But what I love about Nicole's studies are that you can pick and choose from the list, and they give you a guide on how to really go about choosing on your own. So like, we're going to be doing reptiles this fall. Joy doesn't have a reptiles one, but this mammals one gives me a good blueprint on how to go about it. And so let me open it up and show you what's going on. So also, while I'm doing that, keep in mind, Joy has much better videos online here on YouTube and on her website to walk you through all of this. So here's a sample of the table of contents. And as you can see, this one actually has 24. I misspoke. Some they are. This one tends to have about 2 lessons per animal. And you're going to have an introduction to nature study, and this is the same in all of hers, these first preliminary pages. And then you're going to have nature study defined. You're going to learn how Charlotte Mason defines nature study and exactly what to go. And what I love is this is a Christian resource, and Joy is a Christian mama, a homeschooling mama of many children, who shares about how studying nature leads us back to worship the Lord. She also talks about the mother's role in nature study, and then the child's role, because as mothers we also have a role in here, and she gets all of this from Charlotte Mason. So she goes through the mother's role, the child's role, and exactly what is expected of you in a nature study. And like I said, that part is the same in all of them. She also talks about journals and what we're doing with them, and then the importance of out of doors, boy. And then there is a poem, nature journal prompts, how to use this book, starting, what is this? Setting up your nature journal. We just use cheap drawing journals from Walmart, and that's what we use. And then you're going to get into the simple lessons. So here's the beginning of this one. So the very first one tends to be an introduction to whatever the topic is. I think for stars and skies, you make a phenology wheel. For introduction to mammals, you're going to make this grid, and you're going to choose different animals that you're going to focus on. All of her books use primarily Anna Bradford Comstock's, Handbook of Nature Study. And it is a great book. Living Book Press has some color reprints that are just amazing and well worth the price. But that is primarily what they use for reference. But there are so many other nature books, and she will list all those. As you can see, I made notes in it to help me along the way. She'll give you guides when you need them digitally. And then you can copy these if you need to for your children. And then you're going to have different things. So sometimes it's vocabulary that you're going to have them include. Maybe you're going to label a diagram. Maybe you're going to include the Latin name. Maybe your child is just going to practice writing cottontail rabbit. And basically what I love about it is it gives you the prompt of what to do. And then it will often have a younger child, older child option. So you know what to do. And for a large family, that is very helpful. She also has videos that can help you with learning and studying about the animal if you can't observe them. And then also drawing tips, which is very helpful, and different things like that. What I love in the guides is that often you're going to have 2 days. So you'll do the squirrel one day, but then the next day you're going to come back and you're going to expand or tell more about. And that's kind of a concept I've used in all of my all of our nature studies since we started using these. Also included in here are often there's diagrams, charts, different things you might want to do. The weather, I believe, has a weather chart. You're going to also, that was a life cycle. There will be some tips for activities that you can do, poems that you might do to include, because your nature journal doesn't have to just be drawn. You can put poems, quotes, things like that, which are all in there. And then she also includes a resources list at the back. So that's the mammals, and it goes through several mammals. Insects, let me show you real quick the table of contents. We did this one quite extensively as well. And you're going to go through, and you can look through the table of contents, I believe, on her website, but you're going to go through caterpillar and painted lady, butterfly, cricket, aphids, ladybug, housefly, ant, honeybee, dragonfly, mosquito, and you're going to work on perpetual journal entries, which she talks about in here, and she gives you the guidelines and how to go about doing that. But you can see like this one has more diagramming labels, so you're going to learn about the parts of the insect and different things like that. You may do life cycles of them, different concepts. So now let me get you one that is plant-based. She also has a wildflower one, which is the one I think I have that is just missing. So the trees, here's that, and you're going to go through, let's see here, shapes of leaves, a tree phenology wheel, poems, draw a map, tree phenology wheel, shapes of trees, tree roots, and different parts. This one also has 24, and so you're going to go through all of those kind of things, and it walks you through it so that you don't have to look up all that information. You can have it all in one hand. And then stars and skies, and this one talked mostly about the moon, the sun, and a few constellations. And so we did that to an extent. A fun thing that we did, not my idea, but we painted our paper with kind of blues and purples and blacks with watercolor, and then drew the constellations in with white gel pens. And that was really fun, different way to learn about constellations. But we also regularly take and use phenology wheels. For my kids, they do it all school year long. And so you have all these different guides. They have all the different topics you might need on how to use it. And that's really the first third of the book. And then the rest is lessons. I forgot to check how many lessons this one had. Well, this one has 24 too. So maybe they all have 24 and I was just mistaken. But this really has taken the guesswork out of nature study for me. As a mama, we have, we don't have all her guides. We will probably buy a few more this year. But for the most part, by using it several times, I have learned how to outline a nature study lesson. And so I can take a topic that she hasn't covered, like reptiles this fall, and I can apply it, the methods that I've learned in these other curriculums, to the topic I want to study. And so that's what I very much appreciate about this particular homeschool curriculum, because Joy is a homeschool mom with a lot of kids, and so she understands that it's important that we do this nature study. It is vital to them and their education to really understand the world around them and know the different parts. And she has made it so that it is something that you can come along and learn with them in an easy way, and keeps it very simple. So I love her nature study hacking because it does. It keeps it simple. And while you go through it, it teaches you as a mother to become a better mother teacher. And so I highly recommend nature study hacking if you are struggling with nature study. And if you need more, please go check out Joy's YouTube channel. She walks through several of these things on her blog. She even has some sample lessons for free, so you can look that up. She is just a wealth of information, and I really appreciate it. So I hope that this has helped you. If you have any questions about Joy Cher's nature study hacking, please drop them down below. I'll try to answer them. If you need to know more about an individual guide that I own, I can do that as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and let us go forth to strive to serve our families and the Lord wholeheartedly.